welcome to Toodle's World. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited. Today is Thursday, and today's video is I have my favorite books that I've read for 2023. Eleven books I have here that are my favorite books for 2023 that I have read. Now, a couple of them I've read before 2023, but I reread them this year and they are still my good reads, and I love them of all time. So you can pause anytime you want in this video and write the name of the book down. Go check it out, because it might be your favorite read for 2024. Who knows? I may have some good reads for next year. We'll see. I have my TBR already picked out for next year, and I bought some very good books. You watched my book haul yesterday. One of the books I bought, Dark Water Rising. Cannot wait to read that book, because I am like right next door to Galveston, Texas, where the book was written about Galveston. Cannot wait to read that book. I don't. Let me get some more lighting on in here. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm in pajamas today. Cold in pajamas, and I got to get dressed, and I haven't yet, but I wanted to make this video. First book I want to talk about is by Joan Lowery Nixon, and it is A Deadly Game of Magic. This book is twisted, but it also had me sitting on the edge of my seat reading some of it. And it has to do with the Texas, and I'm from Texas. It's seeking shelter from a fierce Texas storm. Lisa and three friends become trapped inside a house that seems abandoned. But is it? That's the question. As a thunderstorm warns, the phone goes dead. A lifelike plaster head suddenly appears, and this mental body hand traps into mental. The friends are now unwriting players with an increasingly sinister game of evil magician. The key to their survival lies in a mysterious room at the end of the hall, but they just act quickly to avoid the magician's grand finale. Murder! So, this author has wrote 130 books for young readers. This is like a Y&R book. But oh my god, this book was so good. I could not put this book down until it was done. This book took me, usually sometimes books usually don't take me long to read. This book took me 2 days to read. Normally a book would take me a while depending on how good it is. But this book took me 2 days to read. It would have took me one, but I had other things I had to do too. I am a wife, so I have housely duties to do. So, but check out this book. I would definitely love my son to read this book. I know my son's not a reader, but I think if my son read this book, he would really enjoy it. The next book, I want my daughter-in-law to read this to my grandson. It's the 20th anniversary edition with foreword by Jackson Reynolds, Sharon G. Flake, and it's The Skin I'm In. And this book, I think, is written by, I get this book, actually, I give this, let's see, this first book here, I gave this book a 5 stars. This book here, I definitely gave 5 stars. I have little sticky notes inside that I post, and that tells you how many stars I gave the book. But this book took me 1 day to read. And it's about a girl, she's black, and everybody teases her about being black, make fun of her, they call her names, and if I'm not mistaken, I think they tell her, why can't you rub the black paint off your face, or something like that, real rude to her. But I loved this book when I read it, and I would love for my daughter-in-law to take this book and read it to my grandson, which my daughter-in-law is black, and my grandson is what people call yellow belly. If that's offended to any of you of color, I'm sorry. But my son, of course, you know, I'm white, my son is white. But I love my daughter-in-law so much. She's so beautiful. She loves to read books, and this would be something that she would, I think, love reading to my grandson. I may end up giving her this book when she comes over Christmas and say, I want you to take this book home and I want you to read it to Kai, because it is seriously a really, really good book. It actually had me in tears because of the way they treated her. Makia suffers every day from the trance of the other kids in her class. If they're not getting at her about her homemade clothes or her good grades, it's all about her dark skin. When a new teacher who faces the butch with a starting white pitch starts at their school, Michaela can see there is a bond to be troubled with her too. But the new teacher's attitude surprises Michaela. Miss Sanders loves the skin she's in. Can Michaela learn the same? And the teacher that comes to school is black, just like her. It's a really good book. Really, really good book. It may be a kid's book, but it is a heartwarming book. The next book, if you love spice, then you're definitely going to love Misadventures with the Boss. Hello, by Kendall Ryan. Oh my goodness, there are 33 books in this series. This is a book series. There's 33 books in this series. And I've been writing down all the books I want to do. We have Misadventures with the Roommate, there's Misadventures with the Rock Star, Misadventures of a College Girl, and so forth and so on. And there's more. And right here is a lot of them. And the Misadventures of a Good Wife is the book I have coming in from my library to read. This book has tons of spice in it. So if you're really into spice, and I mean hardcore spice, you would love this book. And when I say hardcore, down to the T of how he wants to just throw her over the desk in his office and just out of her. That type of spice. Really good spice. The ending of this book will shock the bejesus out of you because, oh my gosh, really shock the bejesus out of you. Loved it. Love Kendall Ryan's reading. I love these books. And she's not the only one that writes Misadventures. Like I said, you got Elizabeth Haley, who wrote Misadventures with the Roommate. Helen Hart with Misadventures of a Rock Star. And then you have Lauren Rowe, who wrote Misadventures of a College Girl, which I have on my reading list. These books. Oh my god. My husband hated me reading these books. And so far, I have read 3 of these books, the Misadventures books, and he hates it when I read them. Honey, let me tell you something. It'll get you in the mood. If you're not in the mood for coochie 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 coo, it'll get you in the mood. Trust me. My husband will tell you. The next 2 books is actually a book series by Rachel Hanna. It's the South Carolina Sunset books. South Carolina Sunset books. I have the first book 1, which is The Beach House. This book got me really thinking hard when I read it. And okay, the characters in the book really, really got me. I got so good with the characters in the book. The husband in this book is the husband in book 2, and probably the husband in all the books, all the series, which is her ex-husband now. But he was cheating on her, and they were supposed to get a beach house so they could live together in a beach house, and they have kids together. We'll got to find out. He's cheating on her, and he bought another house for him and his flang. Yeah. Which pissed me off. Because it talks about the flang at the very beginning of the book, like in chapter 1, and it's talking about flang and everything. And he doesn't want nothing. So he's selling the house she's living in. Where she's supposed to live, she ends up going and buying her own beach house and fixing it up and moving in it. And she meets a flang. Ooh, she meets a man too. He is a contractor that is helping fixing up her house. And let me tell you, good book. There's a spice in here, but it's not like sex spice. It's like little hugs, little kisses, stuff like that. It's not good. But if you have not read this book, excuse me, by Rachel Hanna, you need to read this book. This book is amazing. I want to get the rest of her book series. It says, she is 43 years old and starting over from scratch. How did this happen? She had it all together. A stable marriage of 2 dedicated grown daughters. And now she and her husband, empty nesters, were moving to a beach house until he showed up late one night and tore their marriage apart. A secret life, a different woman, another family. Left alone, she had to begin again. And then her ultimate sister and mother get thrown into the mix when she buys a house on a small South Carolina island. Will she learn what life is really about, or will she find out that some relationships can never be mended? Her husband leaves on a business trip, and he gets a Miss Flang Prego. So now he's wanting that family instead of his old family. Book 2, she's got the house, the beach house, she's living there, everything's good. Boom, something happens. And her ex-husband is in a car accident. Their divorce is not finalized, and she's the last one, so she's supposed to take care of him. He wants to come stay with her. He wants to mend their marriage relationship, but he only wants her to take care of him because the girl, his fiance, he's supposed to be marrying, is carrying his child, doesn't want to take care of a man like that. That is so rude. I mean, if I got divorced and my husband was hurting like that, I would help him out. Would I help my ex-husband? If he was hurting and he needed help, I would help him, but there would be nothing in between. But I would also tell my son to go help your dad. He's standing in front of her after 10 long years. No one knows why Dixie's son is standing there on Christmas Day. No less than doesn't look happy. Dixie is keeping a big secret that will shake up everyone around her. Julie's daughter Colleen is coming home for a visit, but she's not alone. Janie makes a new friend, but nobody is thrilled about it. Julie and Dawson is my last name, questions their buddy relationship. Will they move forward, or will they decide to be friends? Is the best way to go. Now, this one is where he has the accident and everything, but this one, she is working at a bookstore. In the first one too, she gets a job at a bookstore, and the lady at the bookstore, something happens, and her son comes down, and it's like something happened, a long time ago, and things changed. So you have to read the books to understand it, and I definitely want to either buy or get the rest of the series and try to read the rest of the series if I can. Now, going into book 6, The Summer I Turned Pretty. I went on a trip with my husband. We went to Palestine, Texas for a trip by Jen Han, and OMG, this book was good. This book was amazing. It was good. This book, I think, let's see, I gave this book, okay, I guess I didn't read this book yet. I'll rate it now. I gave this book a 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I do need to read the next one. It's That Summer Without You and We'll Always Have Summer. I do need to read them 2 books with this. I want to get the other 2 books to the series because I really like that book. Sunset and Second Chances. I gave this book and this book both 5 stars because I really like the books. I gave this one 4 stars. Now this one I gave 5 stars. I believe I gave it 5 stars in this book. Yes, I did. I gave it 5 stars. It is by Colleen Hoover. #1 New York Times best-selling author is Colleen Hoover, and it was the book VREITY. This book, juicy spice in it, but the ending of the book is a plot, seeking plot that is, you would never imagine that it actually happened. I mean, I couldn't believe the end of this book when I found the secret. I'm not going to tell you the secret because you guys don't read VREITY if you haven't read it, and you'll find the secret. But the twisted plot in this, oh my god, the characters, I connect with the characters. I literally put myself as the girl that was rewriting his wife's story, and I put myself as her. I was that character reading the book, and I was getting everything she was getting. I felt, and this was a book that I actually could put myself as the character, and what she did that was amazing. And knowing, if you don't know me and you're new to my channel, I have some health issues. I have a chronic kidney disease stage 4. I have a heart murmur. I have 2 bone cysts in both of my legs. I have an umbilical cord hernia. And oh my god, I blocked all of my pain that I had. Everything that was wrong with me, I clicked it off, my medical problems, and focused on this book. And didn't feel not a pain. Read this book. Amazing. You need to read the book VREITY if you have not. Go get it. Christmas is around the corner. Ask for it for Christmas. If you have read it, You know what I'm talking about. And if you didn't like it, well then, on you. Because I thought it was an amazing book. And it is a book that I can read over and over and over again. And who knows, I might read it next year. I'm just going to go back into a video like this for next year. The next one I took with me on my trip, and I read the book Gardenia. Amazing. This book was amazing. The girl, 17-year-old Ivy Erickson, has 1 month, 27 days, and 4 hours, 59 minutes, and 2 seconds to live. She has little thing up here and count down to the days that she has, the minutes, the years, months, hours, days, hours, minutes, and seconds for her to live. She can see everybody else's, but she cannot see her own. Ever since she was a child, Ivy has been able to see countdown clocks over everyone's head, including how long before they will die. She can't do anything about anyone else's, nor can she do anything about her own, which will hit the 0 hours before she even graduates high school. A life cut short is tragic, but Ivy does her best to make the most of the struggles associated with her deep love for on and off again boyfriend Meyer Pulaski. She struggles finally working outside of school to help her mom and her sister, and she struggles to cope with the murder of her best friend. Another life she couldn't save. Vanessa Donovan was murdered in the woods, and everyone in town believes Ivy had something to do with it. The more girls start disappearing, Ivy turns into put her own life in order as she pieces together the truth of who ended Vanessa to save lives and for her own serenity. The clock is always ticking, and Ivy only hopes is to escape the truth before the time runs out. Another good book. I read this book. This book took me 4 days to read because, of course, I was on a trip and I was reading it. I started the book before we went on the trip. When I got there, I read the book, finished it, and then I read Summer I Turned Pretty, and I liked that book as well. This book here, I gave 4 stars because it is good, but it's not on my 5-star range, but it's good. Everything was good about it. I liked the plot. I liked everything about it. The next book I gave 5 stars. Now, if you ever watched Little Women in L.A., you would know Terra Jole. And she wrote a book called Fierce at 4'2". And I rate this book a 5 stars because it was really a good book. It's about her and how she met Joe, her husband, and her kids, and how her life is. And she is only 4'2". And, you know, a lot of people call people like this midgets, which we hate that word. I'm 4'9", and I don't like to be called a midget. I used to be 5 foot. I shrank. Big deal. But people don't like to be called that name. They like to be called a little person. And you look, oh, you're so cute. I can understand saying their kids are cute because they're little, but you don't call an adult cute because they're little. Hello? Not something you want to do. But with one more than a dream in her heart, Passion and Soul, read the book. Very, very good book. The next book I gave 5 stars to. I know I gave 5 stars to this book. And it's by Trent, Shelton, with Lewis, Aronica. And this book is amazing. This book changed my life, and it is The Greatest You. I've talked about this book many a times on on Instagram, TikTok, And on this one, I've done some things in the past that I'm not proud of. I used to go to stores and I would buy things and steal things. And once I read Trent's book, The Greatest You, this book literally changed my life. And I told him this book changed my life. I even texted him and told him everything I used to do in the past, and it changed my life. And he wanted to do a conference call with me, but he's in Texas. He was like up in Dallas, and he wanted me to come up there, but I can't travel due to my health issues, and I told him that. So everything's good. Another 5-star read. Read this book because it can change your life. It changed his because he did drugs and gambled and all kinds of things in the past, and that book changed his life as well. My most favorite book I gave 5 stars, and this is the last book, and it was The Silent Patient. Oh my goodness, this book had me on the edge of my seat. The plot to the ending of this book was amazing. This book, wherever I went, this book went with me when my husband and I was in the car, driving in the truck, going grocery shopping. We were going wherever we were going. This book was with me, and I was reading this book. This is a book I can actually read again. Now, I know they also have it in paperback. I have it in hardback, which is better than paperback, I think. I think I like hardbacks better than paperbacks, but I do have a lot of paperback books. And I have some hardback books. This is a good book. I gave it a 5 stars. If you have not read The Silent Patient, you need to go read it, because she is supposed to have shot her husband in the face with a gun, and then she goes silent and she does not speak ever again. And you just have to read the book. I can't tell you anymore because it gives you lots of spoiler alerts in this book, but go read it because it's amazing. Until next time, guys. So those are my favorite books for 2023 that I have read so far that I actually like. So go check it out. And if you read any of these, and if you haven't read any of them, go read them because they're all good books. Until next time, bye.